Let's get started with today's story. I never considered myself the jealous type. I wasn't one of those husbands who checked my wife's phone or constantly asked who she was texting. I trusted Maya completely, maybe too much. So when she started going to the gym and raving about her new personal trainer, Josh, I didn't think much of it. If anything, I was happy she'd found something she was passionate about. It started innocently enough. She'd come home talking about her workouts, how Josh was a fit genius who pushed her harder than anyone ever had. "You should see the way he plans everything," she'd say, eyes lighting up. "He knows exactly what I need to work on." I smiled and nodded. "Sounds like you're in good hands." She nodded back enthusiastically. "You should meet him sometime, Robert. He's amazing." At the time, I didn't think I'd need to meet him. I figured he was just a nice, professional trainer doing his job. But then things started to change. At first, it was subtle. Maya started spending more and more time at the gym. What used to be hour-long sessions turned into 3-hour marathons. She'd come home later than usual, breathless and flushed, saying, "Josh wanted to teach me some advanced techniques," or "Josh and I got carried away working on my form." Advanced techniques? I'd mutter under my breath, the phrase lingering in my mind like a splinter. What does that even mean? One evening, I suggested we have dinner together. "Let's go out, just the two of us. You've been so busy lately." She hesitated. "I can't tonight. Josh has me on this intense meal plan, and I don't want to mess it up." I frowned. "You can't take one night off to spend time with your husband?" She sighed, clearly annoyed. "You don't get it, Robert. This is important to me. Josh says consistency is key." "Josh says," I muttered under my breath. That name was starting to feel like a stone in my shoe, small but impossible to ignore. The unease began gnawing at me. Something about her behavior wasn't sitting right. She started dressing up more for the gym, new leggings, tight tops, even makeup. Makeup for a workout? That didn't add up. Then there were the excuses. Workouts during what should have been family time, a sudden need to attend fitness expos with Josh, and trainers-only events that she swore were part of her gym's membership perks. A few days later, as Maya came out of the shower, I noticed something unusual. She was wearing a tank top, her damp hair draped over her shoulders, and as she reached for her towel, I spotted a faint bruise on the side of her hip and another one on her upper arm. "What happened to you?" I asked, trying to keep my tone casual. She froze for a split second before laughing nervously. "Oh, that? It's nothing, Robert. Just part of the workout. Josh had me doing this new exercise with weights, and I must have hit myself accidentally." "Accidentally?" I repeated, narrowing my eyes. "That looks pretty bad for an accident." "It's not as bad as it looks," she said quickly, wrapping the towel tighter around herself. "I'm fine, really." Her explanation didn't sit well with me, but I didn't push further. I didn't want to seem paranoid or controlling, so I let it slide, for the moment. I told myself I was imagining things, that Maya was just passionate about her new hobby. But deep down, the sight of those bruises left me with a sinking feeling in my gut. Something wasn't right. One afternoon, while I was at the office, a co-worker of mine, David, approached me. David was a casual acquaintance, the kind of guy I chatted with in the break room but didn't know much about. "Hey, Robert," David said, his tone hesitant as he approached my desk. "Yeah," I replied, glancing up from my computer. "What's up?" He shifted awkwardly, rubbing the back of his neck. "Look, I don't want to overstep or make things weird, but I think there's something you should know. I go to the same gym as Maya." I frowned slightly, unsure where this was going. "Okay, and—" David hesitated, his gaze darting around the office before settling on me. Last night, I saw her there with her trainer, Josh, and, they didn't exactly look like they were just training. My stomach tightened. What do you mean? He sighed, lowering his voice. They were close, laughing, touching, leaning into each other. It didn't look like just a workout to me. I tried to keep my expression neutral, but the knot in my chest was impossible to ignore. You sure about this? I asked, my voice steady but low. David nodded, his face serious. I know it's a big accusation, so I thought you should see for yourself. I, recorded it. Recorded it? I echoed, the weight of his words hitting me. Yeah, he said, pulling out his phone and handing it to me. I watched the video in stunned silence. It was dark but clear enough. Maya and Josh were leaning against the wall in a quiet corner of the gym, laughing and talking in hushed tones. At one point, Josh brushed her hair away from her face and leaned in close, way too close for comfort. She didn't pull away. The final nail in the coffin was the kiss. It wasn't a quick peck either. They were full-on making out, oblivious to anyone who might see them. I handed the phone back to David, my hands shaking. Thanks for telling me. Can you send me the video? He nodded, his expression soft with genuine sympathy. Of course. I'm really sorry, man. If there's anything I can do. I forced a tight smile, though my jaw felt like it was made of stone. No, I said, standing up. I'll handle it. That night, I didn't say anything to Maya. I couldn't. I needed time to process what I'd seen and figure out what to do next. But as I sat in our living room, watching her laugh at some mindless TV show, I felt like I was seeing a stranger. How long had this been going on? How much of our life together had been a lie? I decided I needed more proof. David's video was damning, but I wanted to know the full extent of their betrayal. Over the next week, I started paying closer attention to Maya's behavior. I checked her phone when she wasn't looking, finding a string of messages between her and Josh that left no doubt about their relationship. Can't wait to see you tonight. You looked amazing yesterday, Josh wrote. You're so sweet. I wish I didn't have to sneak around, but it'll all be worth it soon, Maya replied. Then there was this gem. How's the money situation? Are you able to get more? Josh asked. I'm working on it. Robert hasn't noticed anything yet, Maya answered. That message hit me like a freight train. Not only was she cheating, but she was also planning to take my money. I checked our bank accounts and confirmed my worst fears. Maya had been transferring money from our joint account into a private one. Thousands of dollars were missing. That's when I realized this wasn't just an affair. It was a full-blown scheme. Maya and Josh were planning to run off together and leave me with nothing.